Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Defense Updates and News. So let's start today's top major defense news. Su-57 is not needed. India has said that their first 5th generation MK fighter will fly by 2024. India outguns China at LAC, better trained army, lethal IF fighters in dominating positions. Australia joining India, US, Japan in Indo-Pacific for mega navy drill. Territorial integrity non-negotiable efforts in Eastern Ladakh to continue till status quo achieved Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi. Military exercises with foreign countries cancelled because of the COVID crisis being planned again. IT Ministry to ban more apps over links with China. Check out the pages specially designed for IF warriors in Rafale fighter jets. The Indian press report on intensification of work in the framework of the MK 5th generation fighter program recalled that earlier India decided to withdraw from the FJFA joint program with Russia, which provided for the creation of a new generation aircraft. New Delhi put forward a whole list of claims, including lack of implemented stealth technology, previous generation engines. With this exit, India threw itself away from obtaining the latest fighters for several years. It was decided to create our own version to this. The implementation of the MK program began. The Indian columnist writes that the British Air Force is now feverish working with HAL to obtain a 5th generation multi-role fighter. The modular design of the 5th generation engine single-seat aircraft is considered complete. Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Bhadoria said that this is what we put our strength into. We focused on our own design using our own technologies, but it turns out that not all technologies will be Indian. At the first stage, it is planned to form 6 MK squadrons with the first flight scheduled for 2024. The first aircraft of the new engine is planned to be put into service with the Indian Air Force by 2029, and by the 2036 it is planned to release an upgraded version of the Mk-Mk2. According to the President of Aerospace and Defence Industry of India, promising Indian fighter of a new generation must have also an export potential. India, neither the Su-57 nor the F-35 is needed. You need to create your own fighter. According to some reports, India intends equip its MK fighters with British-made engines, but even here, India is not satisfied with much Great Britain offers. Engines do not exceed 11 tons of thrust. India wants more. Airbus CEO Anil Gupta believes that Britain could transfer technologies for creating aircraft engines. On their basis, India could create its own version. In India, they say that a promising aircraft will carry weapons in the internal compartments. It will implement radar stealth technology. Indian experts, including one of the Indian Air Force engineers, believe that forecast for the delivery of the first 5th generation aircraft to the Indian Air Force by 2029 look too optimistic. By the way, earlier in India itself, it was reported that the first MK fighter would take off not earlier than 2030. Despite multiple rounds, diplomatic and military level talks between India and China, it appears that the latter seem to have fallen short of disengagement along the line of actual control in Eastern Ladakh. Currently, the People's Liberation Army is maintaining over 40,000 troops in the region. The Chinese have not shown any sign of de-escalation as they continue to maintain their heavy troop deployment of almost 40,000 troops supported by heavy weaponry like air defense systems, armored personnel carriers and long-range artillery in front and depth areas. With India considering an invitation to Australia to join the next Malabar naval exercise, top US diplomat has said the Canberra's participation in the drill and the Quad members will be hugely beneficial to enforcing behaviors that are going to be necessary to defend their mutual interest. Deputy Secretary of the State Kevin Began made the comments in front of the members of the Senate Foreign Relations during a hearing on US policy regarding China. India is considering inviting Australia to the next edition of the annual naval exercise. Sources familiar with the development in India said that New Delhi was favorably considering Australia's interest to be part of the Malabar exercise, and a formal decision is likely to be taken in the next couple of weeks. The indication of India's willingness to include Australia in the Malabar exercise is of a bitter standoff with China in Eastern Ladakh. just recently invited Australia to participate in the Malabar exercise, which is now going to allow 4 members of the Quad to participate in a military exercise together. That will be hugely beneficial to reinforcing the behaviors that are going to be necessary for us to defend our mutual interest. Mr. Begin said, Quad coalition represents 4 countries, India, Japan, US and the US. So far, India, Japan and the US have been taking part in the annual naval exercise that started in 1992 as a bilateral drill between the Indian and the US Navy. In the Indian Ocean, Japan became a permanent member of the exercise in 2015. The Quad was set up with an aim to ensure peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific. China's increasing efforts to expand military influence in the region. Mr. Begin said that the US has launched a robust cooperation in the Indo-Pacific Quad. The US is very closely with countries in the Indo-Pacific for regional approach, and globally the United States is actively advancing a strategy to pursue our interests, especially in a relation to the Indo-Pacific. We are working very closely with our ASEAN partners. He said our policy successfully stands on. First is unity at home. Second is close partnership with our friends and allies around the world. Third is effective military deterrence. And fourth is a powerful economic alternative to China. Military exercise with foreign countries cancelled because of the COVID crisis are being planned. Again, exercises bring the armed forces of friendly countries closer, making them better prepared. And for the last 4 months, there weren't any taking place. Now, assuming that the COVID may be less of a problem in the coming months, new plans are being made. Japan, which also has some differences with China, is keen to begin exercise with India in the Indian Ocean. The exercise could involve 2 to 3 warships of Japan's self-defense force. There is talk of the exercise happening in September. The French have also expressed their keenness for getting back to the Varuna series of exercises. This installment may be done in the Arabian Sea. I also want India to participate in a European maritime awareness project in the strategic and also unstable Strait of Hormuz area in the Gulf. There is also the possibility of exercise Malabar happening in November, and this has a certain sensitivity as the Chinese, who are still eyeball to eyeball with the Indian army in Ladakh, are moving towards a cold war with the United States. It has to be seen if this installment of Malabar will involve just India, Japan and the United States, or that Australia is also roped in. If Australia does participate, all 4 Quad countries will be part of Malabar. A decision on Australia participation. All 4 Quad countries will be part of Malabar. A decision on Australia's participation is yet to be taken. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has decided to ban several mobile applications, mostly of Chinese origin. Officials familiar with the matter said the application Hello Light, Share It Light, Bigo Light and VFY Light have been removed from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. The official said the government had in a similar move last month banned 59 applications, including popular video app TikTok, in the backdrop of a India-China standoff in Galwan Valley, in which 20 Indian soldiers were martyred. Banning the apps, the government had said that they were prejudicial to sovereignty, integrity and security of the country. The apps were found to be operating despite the ban via this version. A MeitY official said they have been taken down from the application store. The waiting game is on the treacherous heights of eastern Ladakh. Every day, trucks carrying rations, warm clothing, kerosene, medicine and every item of daily need you can think of are making their way up to the area of conflict. This where Indian and Chinese troops have been involved in a tense face-off for the last 12 weeks. This is where 40,000 Indian troops are preparing to spend the winter when temperatures will go down to minus 20 degrees Celsius. After 12 weeks, 4 rounds of Army CDI level talks, 2 rounds of WMCC meetings and 1 virtual meet between special representatives of India and China, Ajit Doval and Wang Yi. One question remains: for how long will this standoff last? Speaking exclusively on the CNN News 18, General YK Joshi, GOC Northern Command, says troops will continue to be deployed on ground till status quo ante is achieved, that is till the Chinese go back to their pre-mid-April positions. He said What I can tell you in simple words is that we shall continue all efforts to restore the status quo ante along the LSE. I believe the negotiations and of this engagement and the commitment of both sides to adhere to the laid down methodology would dictate the timeline of this standoff. The process of this engagement is currently underway in Eastern Ladakh, while the Chinese and Indians have stepped back in Galwan Valley and Hot Springs as agreed upon. The other two friction points, Pangong Tso and PP-17 Gogra, have seen minimal progress. Rafale fighter jets will soon be inducted in Indian Air Force, dramatically increasing its capabilities and firepower. The advanced fighter jet will increase India's strategic and tactical depth in South Asian region. First Rafale fighter jet will land in India on July 29. Rafale fighter jets will form the new 17th Squadron of Indian Air Force named Golden Arrow. The Golden Arrow Squadron, which was previously disbanded, is being resurrected and Rafale fighter jets will soon be a part of it. Since Rafale fighter jets will form the tip of the spear of the Indian Air Force offensive power, it's fitting that our air warriors be given new patches that they will proudly wear on their uniforms. Symbolism holds a great place in Indian Armed Forces, which have a proud tradition and rich history. The new patches that have been designed will be worn by Rafale pilots on their shoulder and chest. The design of the patches has retained the old school essence of the historical Golden Arrow Squadron. There are two patches, one is circular and another is a silhouette of Rafale fighter jets. Both the design have the logo of the Golden Arrow unit along with the Himalayan eagle in the middle color of the Indian flag have been used in the patches as well. This brand new Golden Arrow patch was worn by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh when he did a sortie in Rafale fighter jet last year. Group Captain Harkirat Singh, who is the commanding officer of the 17th Squadron, also wore the patch. So that's all for now. If you have any kind of suggestion related to this video, please comment below and please support me and please keep like, share and subscribe to my channel.